If you're about to blow 40 grand on a shiny new SUV because the salesman promised it's built to last, I've got some bad news. That warranty is probably tougher than the vehicle. Today on Old Man Garage, we're looking at 4 dirt-cheap SUVs everyone laughs at. Right until they realize these old tanks are still driving while their neighbor's brand new crossover is waiting for another software update. And trust me, if you think the first one is underrated, wait until you see the last SUV. That thing is basically a cockroach wearing 4 wheels. Let's get into it. Number 4, 2007-2012. Hyundai Veracruz, first vehicle. Let's start with one that almost nobody brags about owning at the local Cars and Coffee. In fact, if you tell your buddies you bought a Hyundai Veracruz, they'll probably ask if it came free with a washing machine. And that's exactly why this SUV is such an incredible bargain. Now before the comments section explodes with people yelling, "But Hyundai engines blow up." Slow down there, Captain Keyboard. You're thinking about the newer Theta 2 disasters. Those engines earned their reputation the hard way. The Veracruz belongs to a completely different chapter in Hyundai's history, back when the company was trying to prove it could compete with luxury brands instead of just filling rental car lots. Between 2007 and 2012, Hyundai was aiming directly at vehicles like the Lexus RX, and they actually overbuilt this thing. It's one of those rare moments when accountants hadn't completely taken over the engineering department yet. Under the hood sits the 3.8-liter Lambda V6, specifically the G6DA engine. And yes, that engine code actually matters. This isn't one of those tiny turbocharged 4 cylinders working overtime just to merge onto the interstate. It's a naturally aspirated V6 that delivers smooth power without sounding like it's constantly asking for a coffee break. One of the biggest reasons this engine survives for hundreds of thousands of miles is something most buyers never even think about: fuel injection. The Veracruz uses traditional multi-port fuel injection instead of direct injection. That means gasoline continuously washes over the intake valves, helping prevent the heavy carbon buildup that turns many modern direct-injected engines into expensive science projects after 100,000 miles. Think of it like brushing your teeth every day instead of waiting 5 years and hoping the dentist has mercy on your wallet. Transmission? Hyundai made a surprisingly smart decision here. Instead of insisting they knew everything, they called Aisin, one of Japan's most respected transmission manufacturers. The TF80SC 6-speed automatic has been used in several reliable vehicles around the world and has earned an excellent reputation when properly maintained. It's almost funny. Sometimes the smartest engineering decision a manufacturer can make is admitting someone else builds a better transmission. The ride itself is quiet, comfortable, and much more refined than people expect from an older Hyundai. It comfortably seats 7 passengers, making it a practical family SUV without the ridiculous price tag attached to newer crossovers. Fuel economy lands around 16 miles per gallon in the city and about 22 on the highway. No, it's not winning any environmental awards, but let's be honest. You're shopping for durability, not trying to impress the neighborhood Prius owner. Maintenance is refreshingly straightforward. Parts remain affordable, mechanics know these engines well, and routine service won't require selling a kidney on Facebook Marketplace. The funniest part? Most shoppers walk right past the Veracruz because of the badge. They assume it's just another cheap old Hyundai without spending 5 minutes researching what actually sits underneath the hood. That's great news for you, because while everyone else is fighting over overpriced Toyotas with 300,000 miles, you can often pick up a clean Veracruz for somewhere between $4,000 and $5,000. Sometimes the best deal in the parking lot is the one everybody else ignored because they judged the logo instead of the engineering. And believe me, if you think this SUV was overlooked, the next one makes this Hyundai look famous. Number 3, 1997-2001. Mercury Mountaineer 5.0L V8. Now this next SUV is living proof that sometimes the smartest purchase is wearing the least popular badge. Mention Mercury to someone under 30 and they'll probably think you're talking about the planet, or that Freddie Mercury somehow started building SUVs. That's exactly why this thing is criminally cheap. Most buyers immediately search for a Ford Explorer from this era because they recognize the name. Big mistake. That's where thousands of people accidentally buy themselves a mechanical headache with the infamous 4.0-liter SOHC V6. If you've ever heard one of those engines rattling on startup, congratulations. You've just listened to several $1,000s quietly leaving someone's checking account. The biggest problem isn't the engine itself making power. It's the engineering behind the timing chain system. Ford decided it would be a fantastic idea to place timing chains on both the front and rear of the engine, complete with plastic guides that become more brittle than gas station beef jerky after years of heat cycles. When those guides fail, replacing them often means pulling the entire engine out. That's the kind of repair bill that makes grown adults suddenly become experts in public transportation. Here's where you play the game smarter than everyone else. Skip the problematic V6 entirely. Instead, hunt specifically for the 1997 through 2001 Mercury Mountaineer, equipped with the legendary 5.0-liter Windsor V8 and all-wheel drive. Now we're talking. This is Ford's famous 302 cubic inch small block V8. It's one of the most proven American engines ever built, and there's a reason mechanics smile instead of sigh when one rolls into the shop. The design is beautifully simple. Cast iron block, pushrod valve train, no complicated variable valve timing, no tiny turbochargers spinning at airplane speeds, no direct injection systems trying to reinvent combustion every Tuesday. Just old-school American engineering built around one simple philosophy: keep it running. This same engine family powered everything from pickups to vans to commercial fleet vehicles for years. Ford trusted it because it simply refused to quit, even when owners forgot that oil changes are actually supposed to happen before the dipstick starts looking like barbecue sauce. Even better, Ford paired this V8 with the incredibly durable 4R70W 4-speed automatic transmission. If you've spent any time around Crown Victoria police interceptors or Ford commercial vans, you've already met this transmission. It earned its reputation by surviving years of abuse, high mileage, and drivers who believed every traffic light was the starting line at Daytona. Sure, it's only a 4-speed automatic, but sometimes fewer gears mean fewer expensive surprises. Your transmission doesn't need 12 different personalities just to drive to Walmart. Ride quality is surprisingly comfortable thanks to the long wheelbase. And the all-wheel drive system gives plenty of confidence during rain, snow, or muddy back roads. Fuel economy sits around 14 miles per gallon in the city and about 19 on the highway. Nobody buys a 5-liter V8 expecting hybrid numbers anyway. If fuel economy is your biggest priority, you're probably watching the wrong channel. Because Mercury disappeared years ago, resale values absolutely collapsed. Most buyers don't even remember the brand existed, which means clean examples regularly sell between $3,000 and $4,000. Meanwhile, people are spending 10 times that amount on brand new SUVs filled with enough sensors to launch a NASA satellite, and somehow still can't keep the check engine light turned off. Funny how the forgotten SUV usually ends up having the last laugh. But don't relax just yet. The next SUV proves you don't need a Toyota badge to get legendary reliability, and the story behind it catches almost every buyer completely off guard. Number 2, 2002-2006, Suzuki XL7. Now here's an SUV that proves one simple rule. Just because people stopped buying the brand doesn't mean the engineers forgot how to build a vehicle. Mention Suzuki today and half the people at the grocery store parking lot will say, wait, they made cars? The other half are probably thinking about motorcycles. Perfect. That's exactly why this SUV flies completely under the radar. The first thing you absolutely need to know is the model years. This is one of those vehicles where buying the wrong generation changes everything. You want the 2002 through 2006 Suzuki XL7. Do not buy the 2007 or newer model expecting the same experience. That later version became a rebadged General Motors crossover, complete with the notorious 3.6-liter V6 that became famous for stretched timing chains, expensive repairs, and making mechanics suddenly very enthusiastic about overtime pay. We're here for the original, the real XL7, the one Suzuki actually engineered. And here's where things get interesting. At first glance, it looks like another ordinary family SUV that spent most of its life parked outside soccer practice. But underneath? Completely different story. Unlike most modern crossovers that are basically tall hatchbacks pretending they're ready for the wilderness, the first-generation XL7 rides on a genuine body-on-frame chassis with a rear-wheel drive layout and a proper mechanical four-wheel drive system. In other words, it actually deserves the SUV badge instead of just dressing up like one for Instagram. That ladder frame construction gives the XL7 real durability when roads get rough, whether you're heading to a campsite, towing a small trailer, or simply surviving potholes that look like they qualify for their own zip code. Power comes from Suzuki's own 2.7-liter H27A V6. No borrowed engine? No badge engineering? Suzuki designed this engine themselves in Japan. It uses aluminum construction to keep weight reasonable, but more importantly, it relies on timing chains instead of rubber timing belts. That's one less major maintenance item waiting to ambush your wallet somewhere around 100,000 miles. The engine won't pin you to the seat like a sports car, but that's not its mission. It produces smooth, dependable power and happily keeps going year after year with nothing more than basic maintenance. Fuel economy is respectable for an old-school SUV, averaging around 17 miles per gallon in town and roughly 22 on the highway, depending on drivetrain and driving habits. Not bad considering this thing has the aerodynamic profile of a refrigerator wearing hiking boots. Another myth you'll constantly hear is that replacement parts are impossible to find because Suzuki left the American passenger car market. That's one of those internet rumors that refuses to die. Routine maintenance parts are still widely available. Brake components? Easy. Alternators? No problem. Water pumps? Readily available. Suspension parts? Most local parts stores can order them without breaking a sweat. The reality is you're not shopping for some rare Italian exotic that requires waiting 6 months for a bolt to arrive from overseas. You're buying a practical Japanese SUV with decades of aftermarket support. The interior is simple, functional, and refreshingly free of giant touchscreens demanding software updates every other Tuesday. You get real buttons, straightforward controls, and electronics that don't throw a tantrum because your phone updated overnight. Imagine that. An SUV where turning on the air conditioning doesn't require navigating 3 digital menus. Used prices usually fall somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000, which is honestly incredible considering what you're getting. A real ladder frame SUV, Japanese engineering, a proven V6, a dependable 4-wheel drive system, and a price tag that's often lower than what some people spend upgrading the wheels on their brand new crossover. That's the beauty of buying with your brain instead of your ego. People chase badges. Smart buyers chase engineering. And trust me, if these first 3 SUVs have already surprised you, the last one is the reason this entire list exists. It might be the biggest bargain in America if you know exactly which engine to look for. Number 1. 1999-2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4.0L inline 6. And here it is, the SUV that almost nobody under 30 would buy. But the guy with 300,000 miles on the odometer refuses to sell. The 1999 through 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee WJ with the legendary 4.0-liter inline 6 isn't just the best bargain on this list. It might be one of the smartest used SUV purchases in America if reliability is your #1 priority. Now, before the Jeep fans start celebrating and the Jeep haters start typing angry comments, let's clear something up. I'm not talking about every Jeep. Far from it. Modern Jeeps have become rolling computers with enough sensors to make your local Best Buy jealous. Between complicated electronics, expensive modules, and software issues, some owners spend more time updating their SUV than actually driving it. Meanwhile, this old Grand Cherokee is basically sitting in the corner, like your grandpa saying, "Back in my day, engines solved problems instead of creating them." And honestly, Grandpa has a point. The trick is buying the right engine. Avoid the 4.7-liter V8 unless you enjoy researching overheating problems at 2 o'clock in the morning. The one you want is the famous 4.0-liter AMC inline 6. This engine has achieved legendary status for a reason. The block, cast iron. The cylinder head, cast iron. The timing system, a heavy-duty timing chain instead of a timing belt that comes with an expiration date like a gallon of milk. Its pushrod design is refreshingly simple. Fewer moving parts mean fewer expensive surprises hiding under the hood. There's no turbocharger trying to spin itself into another dimension. No high-pressure direct injection system building carbon deposits like it's growing a science experiment. It's just 6 cylinders doing exactly what they've done for decades. Starting, running, refusing to quit. Mechanics have watched these engines cross 300,000 miles so many times that they barely raise an eyebrow anymore. Plenty have gone well beyond that with nothing more than regular oil changes and basic maintenance. The transmission deserves credit too. Most models came with the 42 RE 4-speed automatic, a gearbox known for being dependable when serviced properly. Is it lightning fast? Not even close. But neither is your uncle who still insists his lawnmower from 1994 is basically brand new. Sometimes slow and steady really does win the race. One of the biggest differences between this Grand Cherokee and today's crossovers is underneath the vehicle. Solid axles. real suspension components built for abuse, actual off-road capability instead of drive modes with fancy names like Adventure Plus Ultra Mountain Snow Elite. Modern SUVs love pretending they're rugged. This Jeep doesn't pretend, it just shows up. Fuel economy averages around 15 miles per gallon in the city and about 20 miles per gallon on the highway. Again, you're not buying this because you're trying to save every drop of gasoline. You're buying it because the engine will probably outlive your next 3 smartphones. Because newer Jeeps have damaged the brand's reputation over the years, many buyers unfairly assume every Jeep is unreliable. That's where opportunity appears. The market has lumped this incredibly durable WJ into the same category as vehicles that share little more than the badge. That misunderstanding keeps prices amazingly low. Finding a solid example between $3,000 and $4,000 is still very realistic if you're patient and willing to search. That's an unbelievable amount of SUV for the money. A proven inline-six, real off-road capability, simple engineering, affordable parts, and enough durability to make some modern luxury SUVs nervous. Here's the funny part. People spend $50,000 financing brand new crossovers packed with giant touchscreens, ambient lighting, massage seats, voice assistants, and enough warning chimes to sound like a casino. Then 6 years later, they're praying the transmission survives one more payment. Meanwhile, this old Jeep is quietly hauling camping gear, towing trailers, driving through snowstorms, and asking for nothing more than fresh oil and maybe a set of spark plugs every once in a while. Turns out reliability never needed a 12-inch touchscreen. It just needed good engineering. If there's one thing to take away from today's video, it's this. Stop shopping for badges and start shopping for engineering. The market is obsessed with what's new, while some of the toughest SUVs ever built are quietly selling for the price of a used riding mower. Here at Old Man Garage, we believe your wallet deserves better than a 72-month car payment. If you enjoyed this list, hit that like button, subscribe for more no-nonsense and occasionally sarcastic car content, and let us know in the comments. Which forgotten SUV would you drive home today? Until next time, drive smart and leave the overpriced shiny stuff to your neighbor.